Hello everyone, welcome to Introduction to HTML Part 1 by GITA. This is the first video in a series of videos about HTML where you will learn the basics of HTML. So before moving on, I would like to say that this course is for everyone. So if you are a beginner, you don't need to worry because we will teach everything from scratch. You don't need to have any prerequisite knowledge for this course. So, hop on. Now, what you will learn in this video. In this video, you will learn about installing an editor and creating a HTML file. Next, document structure of HTML, basic tags in HTML, creating list and creating a table. As I've said that this is the introductory video and this is the first video. So these are some basic things that you should know before going further into HTML. So before moving on, let's just have a brief idea of what is HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is the most widely used language on web to develop web pages. So it's very clear what is the full form of HTML, and it is the most popular language to create the front end of a web. Next, the hypertext in HTML refers to the way in which web pages are linked together. So it basically means that hypertext is the method by which you move around on the web by clicking on special text called hyperlinks. I think so it is clear what the hypertext in HTML means. Next, HTML is a markup language, which means you use HTML to simply mark up a text document with tags that tell a web browser how to structure it to display. So, this line basically means that the markup in HTML is what HTML tags do to the text inside them. They mark it as a certain type of text and make your web page look more good and efficient. So HTML makes use of various tags to format the content. These tags are enclosed within angle braces like we have displayed here. Obviously there are a few exceptions. We will learn about them later. But you should know that HTML is basically written within tags, which has normally the tag have an opening tag and a closing tag. But there can be some exceptions. Learning HTML is simple as users have to learn the usage of different tags in order to format the text or images to make a beautiful web page. So unlike other coding languages, you don't have to learn a certain syntax. You just have to know some tags and know what they do to create a beautiful web page. So HTML5 is the latest version of HTML. There are other older versions of HTML like HTML4 and HTML, but HTML5 is the latest version. Now we'll come to installing an editor and creating a new file. So to write an HTML document, you need to have an editor. So there are different kinds of editor, not different kinds, different editors available like Notepad++, Sublime, Brackets, VS Code. In this video, I will suggest that you use VS Code because in my opinion, it is the better one among the others because it is very fast, it has many extensions, and it is also very user-friendly. So now we'll see how we can download and install an editor and also create a new HTML file. So to download an editor with basically VS Code, first we have to go to your browser. Now simply type download VS Code. Now you'll see the search results. Go to visualstudio.com. Don't go to any other sites. Just go here. Simply click. And then download the Visual Code according to the specifications of your computer. It is available for Windows, Linux, and every other operating system. So after you have downloaded VS Code, you will see this kind of dialog box. So click on I accept the agreement and then click on next. Make sure you check these checkboxes at the bottom. This one, register code as an editor for supported file types and add to path. Then click on next. Then install. Now it's installing. Once you have installed VS Code, click on finish and let it open. So you will see this kind of a view when you first open VS Code. So you should know that to write a HTML file, first you have to create a folder. So to create a folder, I will just go to my desktop. You can create it wherever you want. I go to new folder and create a folder name, let's say first. Okay. Now I'll go to VS Code. You can see here's below the start there's an open folder. I'll go to open folder. Now from the choose the location from where you have created your folder. So I have created in desktop. You can see I have my folder first. I selected. So here on the left hand side you can see that I have selected my folder first. So now that you have created a folder, now you can create an HTML file. So these are the icons you can see. This is for a new file. This is for a new folder. Suppose you want to create another folder. Within a folder you can use this icon. And this is for refresh Explorer. And this is for collapse folders in Explorer. So let's create a new file and let's name it intro.html. Make sure you give the .html extension, otherwise it will not identify it as HTML. Now you can see you are ready to write your HTML document. So this is the basic document structure of HTML. The text written in blue are the HTML tags and the text written in green are comments. Comments are nothing, they are just for a better understanding. It is a good practice to write comments. We will see later on in this video how you can write HTML comment. But for now on, let's just stick to the document structure of HTML, which starts with the doctype HTML tag. So you can see it is written as exclamation mark doctype HTML within angular brackets. So doctype stands for document type declaration. This tag basically tells the browser that this document is written in HTML5 format or in HTML5 version. So in HTML4 the doc type is a bit more tricky, but in HTML5 it is very simple, just like write exclamation mark doc type and HTML. It does not have a closing tag and it is case insensitive, which means you can write it in uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't matter. Next we have the HTML tag. So HTML tag represents the root of an HTML document. So which means that the HTML tag contains HTML elements which are used to write a HTML document. So this tag contains an opening tag and a closing tag. All the other tags are written inside the HTML tag. So next, inside the HTML tag we have the head tag. Now the head tag contains information related to the document. Means information related to your web page. So inside the head tag we have the title tag, title opening and closing tag. You can see I have written a text. This is my title within the opening and closing title tag. So this will appear on the title of your web page, and this is written inside the head tag. Now next we have our body opening and closing tag. Now this is where the entire content of your web page goes. All the text, images, links, videos, everything is written inside the body tag. So this also has an opening and closing tag. Now we will view our web page in a browser. So you need to have the latest version of the browser, whether it be Chrome or anything else. So how we'll do it? First, make sure you save the file. I'll save it by clicking Ctrl+S. Now go to this icon on the left side. You can see I have my HTML file saved as doc.html. I'll go to copy path and then to my browser. Let's just open a new tab. Now I'll paste the path and click on enter. You can see it's just got it. You can see inside the body tag I have written content, so it is visible on my web page, and inside the title tag I had written this is my title. So here it is. You can see it is written this is my title. So I guess it's here. What is the basic document structure of HTML? So now that we have known the basic structure of HTML document and some important elements inside the head, we can now move on to some basic HTML tags. So here are a list of some basic HTML tags which you can use in your web page to make it look more clean and efficient. So let's start with a comment. So a comment is written in this way. First, less than sign, the exclamation mark, to dash, and then you can write your comment, and in VS Code it automatically closes, so you don't need to write the second part. We'll see that later. Next we have the BR tag. So this tag does not have a closing tag. This is used to insert a single line break. You can say it works as the enter key of your keyboard. It basically takes you to the next line. So HTML is space insensitive, so even if you give a amount of space or type enter however times you want, you will not be taken to the next line. You can only use the break tag to move to the next line. Next we have P, which specifies a paragraph. This is used to write a paragraph. And then we have the H1 to H6. H1 to H6 represents the size of the header. So H1 has the greatest size, and H2 is little bit lesser in size than H1, and then goes H6. So yeah, it kind of works like a heading of your web page. Next we have the HR tag, which specifies a horizontal rule, which means you will see a horizontal line across your web page. We'll see that later. Now we have the B or strong tag, which is used to write text in bold. And then we have the I or EM, means emphasis tag, which is used to write the text in italic. Then small tag for writing text in small. Big tag to write text in a bigger size. Code tag is used to write the text in a specific way, which represents a code, programming or computer code. You'll see that. Next we have block code. This tag is used to write a quotation. Suppose a great personality has said something and you want to include that in your web page, then you can use the block code. Then we have S tags. This specifies strike through text, means your text will be striked through. Then we have the sub tag, specifies subscripted text. You can use this to write subscripted text. Then we have SUP tag, which specifies superscripted text. Next we have the OL tag, which specifies an ordered list. Ordered list means list which has some kind of order, like item number 1, item number 2. So we'll see that later. Next we have the UL tag. It specifies an unordered list, and the LI tag, which specifies a list element, and an acronym, which defines an acronym. So now we'll see some tags in our editor. So here I have already written a code to display not all, but some of the tags, basic tags, which you can use to write a good web page. So we have our basic doc type declaration, then HTML head. Inside the head we have our meta tags. Then title, my title is basic HTML tags. Then here is our body. Now everything inside the body will be displayed in our web page. So you can see the first tag we have used is the H1 tag. So in H1 starting and closing tag, I have written these are the basic HTML tags. Then I have written the H5 tag. Let's check them out. And then I have used the B tag and I have written my text. Also, you'll see about this. This is a special character. We'll talk about that later. Then we have our BR tag. As you can see, I have written in comments that this is line break. It does not need a closing tag. Then we have our strong tag. Again a BR tag. Then we have a I tag, BR, then emphasis tag, again BR, and then we have started a paragraph. And you can see I have written my comment. Now inside the paragraph I have used the code tag to display my text in code. Then block code, and inside the block code I have written a quote by John Green. Next we have the HR tag, which will give a horizontal line across the web page. And then we have the S tag, which will display a striped text. Then our paragraph ends. And here I have tried to write X square. So how I have written X? After X I have given SUP, means superscript opening tag, then 2, then closing tag. This will display X square. Then break. Now here I have used the subscript tag to write H2O. So H, then subscript tag, 2, and subscript tag closes H2O. Then our body ends and HTML ends. So we will display this in our browser. So save it by clicking Ctrl+S. I will come here. Now copy path. We'll go to our browser. Paste the path and see. We have our web page here. So this one was written in H1 tag, if you remember, and this one was written in H5 tag. You can see the difference in the size of the tags. So H1 tags, as I have said, are basically used for writing headings. Then this text is written in bold using the B tag. This one is written using the strong tag. These are basically the same, but I will say that you use the strong tag instead of B tag so that it gives better preference. The browser gives better preference to your web page. That is how it works. Then we have this is my text written in italic using I tag and emphasis tag. Again, here I would recommend to use the emphasis tag rather than the I tag. Now this one we have written using our code tag. This you can see looks like a code. Each and every character of this line has the same width. So this is how codes are written. So if you want to display something that represents a code, you can use this tag. And this one is the block quote one, which represents quotations. You can see it is written after some gap, which represents a quote. Then we have used our HR tag to display this horizontal line. Then we have our stripe text, X square and S2. So you can see we have used different tags to display text in different manner. Now, suppose you want to write something like 2 less than 3, which contains some special character. Then how will you write? In HTML there are some reserved words which you can write. So I'll show you one. Suppose 2 less than 3, we'll have to write 2, then ampersand for less than LT. You can see that VS Code already suggests. Then semicolon 3. Now we'll save it. Go to our browser. Refresh it. Okay, you can see I'm not giving a break tag, that's why it's written in the same line. You can see that we have 2 less than 3. So we have used ampersand less than means LT semicolon 3 to write 2 less than 3. In the same way we can write 3 greater than 2 by writing ampersand GT2. So yeah. So let's come to creating list. You may sometime want to include some lists in your web pages. So now we'll see how we can create some basic lists. So here I have a code for creating a simple ordered list and an unordered list. If you remember, we have already stated that inside the basic tags that OL tag is used for ordered list and the UL tag is used for unordered list. So what is ordered list and unordered list you will know. So you can see we have a usual doc tag, HTML, then head, the meta tags, title is list. So inside the body I have used the H1 tag for my heading, my ordered list. And you can see my list starts from OL opening tag and OL closing tag. Now inside these tags I have the LI tags. For each and every list item you have to write LI opening and closing tag. Then for the second item again we have the LI opening and closing tag, and same for the third. Now here is our unordered list. In the same way, I have used h1 tag for my heading, my unordered list. Then I have used the ul tag in the same way, li chocolates, clothes, food. These are my list items and the ul closing tags. Now let's just see how it is displayed in our web page in our browser. Go to list, copy the path, go to our browser, paste the path, and here is our web page. You can see the h1 heading, my ordered list. In my ordered list, you can see that the list is numbered, like number 1 flowers, 2 cars, 3 colors. So this is called an ordered list. And the second is my unordered list. You can see there's no numbering or sequence in this list. We just have some bullet points like chocolates, clothes, and food. So I think so you can understand now that what it means by an ordered list and unordered list. Now suppose you want to create a list within a list, then what will you do? So suppose I have my ordered list has flowers, cars, and colors. Now inside this list I want to create another sub list. Suppose the types of colors. So what I'll do is, inside the list tags of colors, I'll create another list. You can see brackets already, VS Code already completes your code by giving you suggestions. Now I'll create the list tag and I'll say black, and next item or color I'll give, suppose blue. You can see inside the colors list tag I have created another list with old tag, and inside the old tag I have written the types of colors, that is black and blue. Now I'll save it, then I'll go to my browser, refresh it. You can see inside the color list item we have another sub list with black and blue. Now this we have here 1, 2, 3, but also we have here 1 and 2. Now suppose you want to create a list which has A, B, C as list numbering. So what we'll do, we'll use the type attribute. We'll go to the OL tag inside colors and then we'll write type is equal to A. Now we'll save it, go to our browser, refresh. You can see our list is created with A and B instead of 1 and 2. So this was done using the type attribute of list. So yeah, in this way you can create number of lists in your web page. Now let's move on to tables. You may sometimes want to include tables in your web page. So here we are going to create a simple table in HTML. So let's just see some tags which are used to create a table. So we have the table tag for creating a table. We have the tr tag which represents table row for creating a row in a table. We have the th tag which defines a cell as header of a group of cells, which means basically if you want to create a category within a table, suppose it gives a heading to a column or a row in short words. So we have the PD, is table data tag, it defines the cell of a table. So we'll see how we use these tags to create a simple table. So here is our code written for creating a simple table in HTML. You can see I have used the table tag here with an attribute border. We'll talk about it later. Inside the table tag, I have used the tr tag, which represents a table row. Inside the tr tag, I have used th tag with name and td tag with Aditi, which is my name. So this tr tag, first one, represents a first row. So inside the first row, we have a name which will be written in bold, and beside the name, Aditi will be written. So this contains one row. Now second row, we have again used the tr tag. We used the th tag for college, and td gives the table data GITA and tr tag closes. This represents the second row, and the same way third row with th phone number and td phone number. Now we'll see how it is looking in the browser. First save it. Copy path. You can see we have a simple table. This was our first row, this is our second row, and this is our third row. We have written the name using the th tag, so it is written in bold. So for name we have our name, college we have GITA, and phone number we have our phone number. So this is how you create a simple table. Now if you remember, we had used a border attribute in the table tag, this one. So what happens if we remove the border? Let's see. You can see all our border is gone. So this does not look very clean. So that's why we use the border attribute by writing border. You can see VS Code is already completing, and we'll give a border size. I have given 3. Now you can see we have our border. So this is all about tables. In the similar way, you can create a number of tables in HTML. So this was all about today's video. In this video, we learned some basic things in HTML. So if you are confused and if you think you have not followed the code clearly, you can check our GitHub repository for this session's code and other references. The link is in the description box. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for the next video.